Hello everyone, my name is Pink Yulia and welcome back to Adventure of a Lifetime. Emily had seemed upset, but not wanting to ask what's wrong in fear of making matters worse, Chisa and Ryota came up with the idea to have us ask her on a date. Emily said yes, so now we're playing with her in some water. Hopefully we can brighten her mood so she's less depressed. Whoa, okay, now it's my turn. Our first stop after leaving the cafe was Omara Beach. We changed into our swimsuits, did a couple of warm-up exercises, and jumped into the sea together. Emily threw off the clothes she'd taken so much trouble over, and her carefully styled hair got drenched in no time. The whole transformation from date-ready Emily to saltwater-soaked Emily only took about 10 minutes. I didn't know why she'd taken all that time getting ready if she knew we'd be going swimming. Was it a pre-date excitement? We gotta look good for our bays, okay? Woo, the water feels so good! Yeah, it's been a while since we went to the beach just for fun. Yup. Lately, we've been so absorbed learning about wreck diving, our trips to the sea have been all scuba all the time. Of course, diving's fun too, and it helped to improve Emily's skills, but taking some time off to kick back was a welcome change. Luckily for both of us, Emily was a fast learner. It wasn't like she was completely unathletic, it was mostly her fear of the ocean that held her back from learning to swim before. Now that she was more used to it, she was coming along in leaps and bounds. The core training from her ballet lessons probably helped with the scuba diving. Now that she'd reached this stage, she could afford to take a break and enjoy herself. Take this! Oh, time out, I need a moment. I'm not letting you get away. Hiya! Wait, I give! I won! No one stands a chance against me. I'm invincible in the water. Don't gotta tell me twice. Close by, I could hear a group of 3 girls gossiping about how cute Emily looked. People passing by kept looking at her too. Nothing and no one was more stunning than Emily in her swimsuit. And it sure felt good that I was the one out on a date with her. What are you looking at? Is something wrong? Emily followed my gaze down to her waist. No, not wrong. More like the opposite. Opposite? Forget I said that. Huh? She must have worked out what I meant, because her face started to go red. Hero, you're such a perv! Whoa, hey, hold on, I'm sorry, I surrender! No way, no mercy for you! Ah! I succumbed to her vicious onslaught of attacks and sank beneath the waves. Rip. That was so much fun! After spending a long while in the water, Emily finally came to rest on the beach blanket. I'm starved. Must be lunchtime by now, right? All around us, people had already started their picnics. Are you hungry? Want to head back to the cafe? Well, actually... Huh? I brought lunch for us. I made it myself. Wow, really? This was the moment I've been waiting for. I did my best to hide my excitement and look surprised. Yeah, that's why I was in the kitchen this morning. Emily opened up her bag and took out a container wrapped in a sheet with cold packs to keep it cool. I know you're the better cook. I'm really kind of hopeless when it comes to cooking. You know what? Forget it. Emily hastily shoved the container back into her bag. No, wait! You've gotta at least let me try it. It probably tastes terrible. I mean, you're gonna train to be a chef someday, so... Cooking isn't about status, it's about heart. Well, I guess I did put a lot of feeling into it. Hands trembling, Emily slowly unwrapped the container she'd brought along. She placed it on the blanket and opened the lid. Wow, this looks great! And I meant it, too. It was a lot better than what I'd expected. The food was beautifully arranged, each color complementing the other. To be honest, as much as I'd been looking forward to this, I'd also been dreading it a little. I don't know what I'd have done if I was faced with something terrible, considering Emily's lack of skill and patience. Of course, I'd have been happy with anything she made, but she would have seen through any insincere praise I might come up with. Really? You're not just being nice? I'm serious. I bet even if you didn't like it, you still wouldn't tell me. Is that what she thought of me? Can I try some? Go ahead. Thanks, here goes. Emily? What is it? It's a little hard to eat with you staring at me like that. Her eyes were boring into me, watching for any subtle change in my expression. I could barely concentrate on the food. I think I have a right to watch, seeing as I'm the one who made it, but if you insist... Reluctantly, Emily gave me some space. Okay, let's try this again. I picked up a piece of the omelet. As it was one of my favorite foods, it seemed like a good enough place to start. How is it? It's good. Really? It doesn't seem that way. If I went over the top, you'd probably just accuse me of lying. I would not. Anyway, what part specifically is good? Is it the texture alright? Is the texture alright? Did I use too much salt? I'm no food critic, you know. That's true. I suppose I can live with good, then. I really mean it, though. Tastes just like how my mom makes them. A simple omelet with no extra flavoring. And that was just fine. Sometimes, simple was the best. Let's see what's next. I moved my chopsticks toward a piece of crispy fried chicken. What do you think? Hero? Tastes like my grandma's chicken. Huh? The way the flavors and the meat are blended together, the hint of sugar? Yep, this is Grandma's recipe. Oh wow, I'm amazed you can tell. Well, it's a flavor I'm pretty familiar with. Well, I did ask her for help since I don't have much experience, really. I just help out at home sometimes. You did a great job. Grandma's chicken is always delicious, hot or cold. It brings back all kinds of memories. Wait, that's right, she was using a cooling pack, so having a cold omelet? I don't know how I feel about that, but alright. Grandma hadn't made me a thing to eat since my unwelcomed arrival earlier this summer. Still, she had let me use her food in the kitchen, so I couldn't complain. I guess you could say her food is what helped me decide. She's the one that inspired you to become a chef? I nodded. When I was little, I was a really picky eater. I was pretty much just ate burgers every day. You did? That's hard to imagine. Grandma had a real hard time with me when I first visited Ogasawara, but she finally won me over with her fried chicken. My mom wasn't that good at cooking, especially fried foods. She would worry about undercooked meat, but then fry it for too long. It was always too greasy for me to handle. But Grandma's was different. Crunchy on the outside, juicy on the inside. The chicken was perfect. I'm just going to take a moment to say that I really like how they do it like in a grayscale sort of sepia tone for like memories. That's really interesting. That's when I realized there's a lot of tasty food out there. From that day on, I ate anything my grandma cooked for me. I see. So that's what made you fall in love with food. How cute. And now your love for food has turned into a career. It was just amazing how giving someone a delicious meal could open their eyes to a whole new world. A whole new world? Isn't that how you felt when you tried fish before? I guess. It was pretty cool to try something so delicious and new. I love watching people enjoy the food I make. It's the best feeling in the world. Emily nodded thoughtfully as she nibbled on some chicken. This is good. Making something so tasty is a new experience for me, too. Is it different from what you used to? What does your mom make at home? Well, she doesn't really cook all that often. Oh, what do you do for dinner and stuff? We have some hired help to handle that. Aha, so she is a rich girl. But when she does cook, it's always fantastic. Like sometimes when she grills a steak, she'll toss some straw into the fire to give a nice smoky aroma. That did sound good. She really knows her stuff. My grandpapa in America has his own farm, so steak really reminds me of my home there. I was a little jealous. Sounds like you and your mom are really close. What makes you say that? It's obvious when you start talking about her. All of Emily's emotions showed plainly on her face. Well, of course we're close. I bet she's really pretty. Do you take after her? Yeah, people always tell me I do. Well, they usually say I don't look like my dad at all. Haha, sounds like they just like teasing your dad. Yeah. We had a quiet lunch, laughing and joking with one another. Man, that was good. Compliments to the chef. After we finished lunch, we decided to relax on the sand for a little while longer before heading back to the water. Next to me, Emily started putting on sunscreen. She made sure to apply it every day since Cheeza's warning about the dangers of a serious sunburn this time of year. Oh, I can't reach. I always have trouble doing my back. I'd ask Cheeza to help if she was here, but... Emily looked at me, her eyes seemingly bright with an idea. Hey, hero? Nope. But I haven't asked anything yet. Fine, go ahead. Could you help me with this sunscreen? I don't know. What? You don't want to? Why? You know, then you would have to, It's just a little lotion. No need to overthink it. How can I not overthink it? What did she think I was? A monk? Fine. I suppose it's the least I could do after that delicious lunch. See, you should have just answered with that. She replied with a haughty laugh as she lay down on the sand. The sight of Emily in her swimsuit was nothing new, but getting up close and personal like this was a different story. Her skin was slick with sweat and glistening in the sunshine. Let me get this out of the way. Woof! Emily untied the straps of her bikini. What? Emily didn't seem to mind as long as the front wasn't seen, but that wasn't the case for me. Oh my gosh, new fan freaking service. And it's beautiful. I really like how they did the lighting here. And her skin shading is really nice. Anyway. From my point of view, I had an enticing view of Emily's breasts pushed out to the side. Yep. What's the holdup? Huh? Sorry, I'll get right to it. I squeezed some lotion into my hands and then put my hands to her back. The creamy liquid spread across her back, slowly seeping into her skin. I kept my eyes and mind trained on the lotion as I applied, looking anywhere else I could have. Okay, I butchered that. Let me try again. I kept my eyes and mind trained on the lotion I applied, as looking anywhere else could have adverse effects. Based on Emily's voice, it seemed like she was enjoying this. Feels just like a massage. Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, but this isn't supposed to be a massage. Don't be such a party pooper. Oh, could you massage my sides a little more? Here? Oh, yeah. Given her upbringing, it was no surprise that Emily gave off a somewhat regal kind of aura. Even without noticing it, I had started following her orders like a servant would for a queen. It felt like the most natural thing in the world, and that was probably the weirdest part about this whole scenario. As my hands moved over her back, it took a monumental amount of self-restraint to keep them from straying off course. But no matter what I did, my eyes continued drifting toward her chest. They look so soft. Huh? Did you say something? No, it was nothing. I averted my eyes and went back to rubbing. Don't overthink it, she says, like anyone could have focused in a situation like this. If I had that kind of self-control, I would have already reached enlightenment by now. I tried occupying my thoughts with ideas for new recipes and nothing else. That feels good. Can you do my legs too? You can reach them yourself, can't you? Come on, please. I'll do you after too. Men, we are such simple creatures. That is true. The recipes in my head blew away like dust in the wind, replaced instead by a surging desire. I ended up covering Emily's legs, arms, and neck in sunscreen. There, all done. Emily? Huh? Oh, sorry. It was so relaxing I fell asleep for a moment. You're really good at this. If I'd known that, I would have tried putting it on some other places too. What was that? Nothing at all, my lady. Okay, now we switch places. It's your turn. This time, Emily would be putting sunscreen on my back. Come on, lay down already. Yeah, I got it. Wow, you're really into this. Well, this does feel kind of strange. Emily licked her lips and gave an alluring smile. She began rubbing in the lotion, starting with my shoulders and working down. You're pretty well built, hero. Do you play sports or something? Well, I am on my school's basketball team. Oh, wow. I can even see your back muscles. Nice. It sounded like she was having fun with this. But those hands were dangerous. I was certain that Emily didn't see it that way, but even so, her massage felt really good. That's good. No, this is bad. Really bad. I had a potential disaster on my hands. This is fun. Boys' bodies really are different. Yeah, you have no idea. You've been acting weird for a while now. Is something wrong? I'm fine, don't worry. Huh? She really was too sweet and innocent for this cruel world. That thought calmed me enough so that I could relax a little and surrender myself to her touch. Now for the front. Turn over. Huh? I've got to cover your whole body. Come on, turn over. I can't right now. What makes you say that? I just can't. Come on, quit messing around. I'm sorry, I can't. It's impossible. Come on, hero. I can't reach you like this. Emily tried to force me onto my back. No, stop. Not until you give me a real reason to. I've been skipping practice lately, so my stomach is really flabby. Don't be such a drama queen. Just turn your butt over. She only became more and more insistent. Digging her hands into the sand underneath me, Emily was going to try to flip me over like a pancake. It was no good. I couldn't keep this up. I sprang to my feet and made a mad dash for the water. Hero? I'm just going for a dip. Be back soon. Bye! Emily simply watched as my figure disappeared into the surf. That's a hilarious way to try and hide a boner from a girl. And I love how she's completely oblivious. She's too cute. But that's all the time I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!